Yeah, welcome back to another week of the Harry Thomas Show Week in Review. Today is Saturday, February 16th, 2008. The website where everything that we talk about on the show can be found at harrythomas.info. Now, there's a lot of stuff going on this week. I want to start right off here with this article that came out of the New York Times, February 9th, 2008. Paul concedes race, sort of. In a message to supporters sent just before 11 p.m. Friday night, Representative Ron Paul, a long-shot GOP candidate from Texas, basically conceded that he's not going to win the party's nomination. That said, he's scaling back his campaign, but not entirely. With the determination to fight on, there's a lot of delegates out there to get. Now, you could take that to the convention, backed with all the ideas for change that's been going on in the revolution, the Ron Paul revolution. See, it doesn't stop here. And he called for a march on Washington.
Let me take a moment and talk a little bit about our responsibilities. Those of us who know what's going on and we know the truth, we all have a responsibility to speak out, and we need to find those other individuals who share those views. But if conditions deteriorate, as I suspect, we have to have a hardcore people who understand these issues, who are able to rebuild the society. But there's another thing that I think we ought to do. We ought to make a grand display. We ought to have a true march to show what our numbers are. And this is risky. A march on Washington could do the same thing. It could be very, very valuable. It could send a powerful message where the media can't ignore us. At the same time, if nobody shows up, it might mean that, maybe there weren't enough of us. Maybe we didn't have the energy. Maybe we didn't want to go to Washington. But others have gone to Washington, and people remember the grand rallies. So I'm at a point where I think we have to make a grand stand. We have to stand firm and see where the numbers are and be counted and see if the remnant is there and see how big it is. We can never count the remnant, but we can certainly energize those who have been identified already.
And we're talking about a march on Washington, a show of force. This is how we can create change, the revolution. And we're talking about the revolution is at a crossroads. Our own spinning giddiness has met the road of reality. Ron Paul is not going to win the Republican nomination. Ron Paul is more than likely never going to be president. Frankly, Ron Paul has never had much of a chance to do either. Now, the point all along has been the realization that we are out there, and we've seen that in these Ron Paul meetup groups. Look at all the people that got together to create a movement. Now, we have the movement now. We're saving Ron Paul's seat. We're trying to get like-minded congressmen and senators in the office. It is time for all of us to get together and network, okay? And Alex Jones came out with the Infowars.com network. And the Infowars network is an activism and communication tool in the battle against the New World Order. Create a profile and let others users of the network know who you are and your specific area of interest. Research it. Share the information. Activism. Simply confronting the New World Order head-to-head with the truth. Now, you can do everything you want here at this network. I would suggest signing up and not using this as a tool just to sit there and argue and call each other names and everything, but get together with other people in your area and start meeting up and taking some action to inform other people. It's time to step up the info war, okay? And we're talking about, nobody agrees on everything, but we need to stop this move for global government, okay? And most everybody in the Ron Paul movement agrees on that principle alone. Our sovereignty's at risk here. This is it. It's the fourth quarter. Fourth down. We're losing bad, okay? We got just a few pawns and a knight, and we're surrounded by queens, okay? We're losing this battle. We need to come together and fight the globalists. We need to use these tools that are given to us. All the people that listen to GCN radio and everything, we need to come together and start taking action. Getting away from our computers and doing something out in the real world at least once a day. And sharing comments, ideas with other people. You might be doing something in your area, whatever it is, whether you're a musician, you're a poet, you're a storyteller, a book writer. You take your art and you take it to the streets and share it with other people. Knowledge about what's going on. We need to fight back against this, or we're going to lose our country. We're going to lose the world, and we're going to be all enslaved in tyranny. And I'm saying right now, the time is now to take this momentum and get together. I mean, this is a total attack, and we could share our ideas with each other. Say, you go out every day, say you go into every convenience store you go into, you give them a flyer. Share that flyer with other people and tell other people what you're doing, and then they'll share what they're doing, and we can exchange ideas, and then we can network together and create real change. Join a meetup group. Look for one in your area. If there's not one in your area, join one or start one. It's just like $12 a month. Start finding other people in your area that see things are coming to a head, that understand. People who are open to the information, share information with them. We need to network together and share our ideas if we're going to save humanity. If we want freedom, it's time to not just talk the talk. It's time to walk the walk. And we've seen what happened in the Ron Paul meetup groups and how we could come together and we could force change. We could get the globalists scared and backing off their programs. We need to engage now. This is the call to arms. Join this network. There's a link to it at the website at Infowars.com network. The time is now. The tools are being provided for us. So you get involved. Find out who's active in your neighborhood, in your town, in your area. Join together and let's start picking this up a notch, because we're losing badly. And this is our last chance. We've seen how it can be done. We can finish the job. Now, this came out, London Telegraph. Crowds pick leaders to follow. It says here, people in crowds behave like a sheep, scientists claim, blindly following one or two people who seem to know where they're going. Researchers at Leeds University believe their findings could have important applications, notably in the management of disasters. The results published today show that a minority of just 5% of what they called informed individuals to influence the direction of a crowd of a minimum of 200 people. The remaining herd of 95% follow without realizing it. And I've realized that before when I'm walking in a big crowd and you're all bunched up and herded together like a herd of cattle. And then you see somebody's making a break for it. Don't you just follow the rush there? You don't blindly know where you're going. And that's what I'm talking about. We all need to step up and become leaders, okay? The time is now. Please get involved in this fight to take our country back. We need to do something. And just don't go on thinking that somebody else is going to pick up the ball, okay? No, we all pick up the ball. We all move it ahead. We all take a part in this revolution, okay? Don't think that something's going to happen, the next guy is going to get on it. We all need to band together, and we will take our country back if we get the motivation to do so. I will be back to expose a whole bunch of stuff with Big Brother, the police state, and this push for global government.
Don't you know, talking about a revolution, it sounds like a whisper while they're standing in the welfare lines, crying at the doorsteps of those armies of salvation, wasting time in the unemployment lines, sitting around waiting for a promotion. Don't you know, talking about a revolution, it sounds poor people gonna rise up, get their share. Poor people gonna rise up and take what's theirs.